Your support means everything to us. With nearly 90% of viewers still watching without subscribing, we truly need your help to keep sharing these raw, heartfelt stories. Please hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and drop a comment with your city. We'd love to know where you're tuning in from. Now, let me tell you something personal. Can a marriage that looks perfect fall apart overnight?
Yes.
I lived it, and here's how it happened. Violet and I had known each other since we were kids. We studied in neighboring classrooms, lived on the same street, and slowly what started as friendship turned into love. We were each other's first love. She waited for me while I served in the army, and when I returned, we both went to college. Marriage came afterward, and we made a point of paying for the wedding ourselves. No help from either family. From the beginning, we wanted life on our terms. Children. That wasn't in our immediate plans. We decided to wait until our 30s before even thinking about it. For the time being, diapers and sleepless nights weren't on our radar. Instead, we saved for a home. When we applied for a mortgage, it was denied, so we registered the house in my father's name until we could pay it off and transfer ownership. Over time, our incomes grew steadily. We didn't rush to clear the mortgage, instead focusing on other things. We bought our first car, then later a second one. Since I was self-employed as a programmer, we kept everything under my parents' names for simplicity. Nothing was registered to Violet.
Why?
Because she had no family left. Her parents died in a horrific car crash when their vehicle skidded into oncoming traffic. Their loss devastated Violet, and I grieved with her. I admired them deeply. It took her a long time to climb out of that dark place, but eventually, we found balance again. Our marriage was calm, almost too calm. We never fought, no silly quarrels, no shouting. I even joked that it was almost boring in its peace. And then, out of nowhere, Violet snapped. One afternoon, we were grocery shopping. Usually, she handled it all herself, pushing the cart, loading the bags, and driving home. I helped when I could, but that day, as I struggled with the heavy cart, she suddenly lashed out. "These stupid bags," she shouted, tears welling up. "I could break my back doing this." I tried to comfort her, but she pulled away, wiping her face angrily. "If you had just called me, I would have handled it myself for once," she yelled before storming toward the door.
"Where are you going?"
I asked, stunned. "I'm exhausted." "I'll stay with Aurora for a while," she muttered before slamming the door. I stood there, speechless. It seemed absurd that she would leave over something so trivial, but I knew better. Something deeper was wrong. Still, I didn't push her. I thought she'd come back when she was ready to talk. But a month passed. She didn't call, didn't text, didn't respond to mine. By the third week, I stopped trying. 2 more weeks dragged on in silence. Then, unexpectedly, Aurora, her best friend, showed up at my door. Aurora barged in with her usual smug smile. I had never liked her much, and at that moment, I liked her even less. "Did Violet send you?" I asked. "Nope," she smirked, dropping onto the couch, crossing her legs in a way that made her intentions obvious. I tried to stay calm. "Aurora, just tell me what's going on." Instead, she leaned forward and kissed me, her hand reaching where it had no business going. I shoved her away instantly, yelling at her to leave. "You're such an idiot," she snapped, folding her arms. "I was trying to save your marriage." Her words froze me. She explained that after her parents' death, Violet wanted to feel alive again, to boost her confidence. She joined a dating site, and one date went further than she expected. Now, ashamed of herself, she couldn't face me. Aurora added, almost mockingly, that if I cheated too, maybe Violet could forgive herself and we could start fresh. She even winked, as if proud of her twisted idea. "That was it for me. Get out. And take her things with you. Tell Violet to stay away from my place," I snapped. Aurora laughed. "It's not just your place, it's hers too. This is your dad's apartment, remember? And that car she's been driving on her little dates? Yours as well." "Fine. I'll go. But you'll see." I shoved her out and slammed the door. At first, I felt nothing. After 6 weeks without Violet, I had grown used to her absence. Sure, I always had doubts. Deep down, I knew she wouldn't just leave without reason. Now those doubts had been confirmed, and strangely, that made things easier. The divorce moved quickly. We didn't own much outright, and I wasn't about to let her keep the car. She tried to reach me, called repeatedly, but I ignored every attempt. When she showed up demanding the car back, I threatened to call the police. She cursed, tossed me the keys, and walked away. And just like that, it was over. I never saw it coming, but that's how it ended. Life, of course, went on. So if you've made it this far into my story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.